Hello friends, welcome back to the Financial Freedom Show with Chase Lawson, where I, Chase Lawson, your delighted host, bring you different personal finance topics each week and break them down, making them simple to understand. For those just meeting me, I am a personal finance fanatic and the author of the best-selling book, Financial Freedom, Breaking the Chains to Independence and Creating Massive Wealth, which is available on Amazon. Today's topic is on an important financial concept known as the Rule of 72. If you haven't yet checked out my episode on compound interest, I highly encourage you to do so. This topic goes hand in hand with that principle. And in fact, a lot of people, even those in the finance world, aren't familiar with this rule. It's not really taught widely in any finance classes. I never learned about it from any of my finance classes, and I have a bachelor's degree in financial management. Basically, this rule helps you estimate how long it will take for a sum of money to double in value based on its interest rate or time period. For example, let's say you have $1,000 in an account earning 10% interest. With simple interest, that's $100 in interest per year. So it's pretty easy to see that after 10 years, your investment will double. However, most investments and debts use compound interest. So in this same scenario, you still earn $100 in interest in the first year, since 10% of $1,000 is $100. But then year two, you have $1,100 earning 10% interest, so you earn $110 in interest. The next year, you start with $1,210, so you earn $121 in interest, leaving you with $1,331 after the third year. As you can see, the math gets a little more complicated each year. If I had carried it forward, year four's interest earned would have been $133.10, then $146.41, and so on. The rule of 72 makes things much simpler. Rather than doing all that math, what the rule of 72 says is that if you take 72 and divide it by the interest rate earned over a specific period, the result is approximately the number of periods it would take at that same interest rate for your money to double. So going back to our example, 72 divided by 10 equals 7.2. Since the 10% represents the yearly return on the investment, that means that it will take 7.2 years for your investment to double. And if I do the math, after 7 years of earning 10% interest, your $1,000 investment would be up to $1,948.72. All that remains is $51.28, which will be earned after about a quarter of the way through year 8, showing that the 7.2 number is pretty spot on. This rule, unfortunately, isn't always a good thing. It's not just for determining how quickly your investment will double. It can also be used on the other end of the spectrum with any debts you hold. For example, if you hold any credit card debt that's accruing interest at 18% per year, well, 72 divided by 18 equals 4. Meaning, if you don't pay off that credit card balance, it's going to double every 4 years. Similarly, if you hold student loan debt at a 6% interest rate, 72 divided by 6 equals 12. So if you don't pay down the principal, every 12 years, your student loan balance will be approximately double. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. You take 72 divided by the interest rate to get the number of periods it would take to double your money. This doesn't just have to be used with money. Anything that will be growing in value, you can also use the rule of 72 to compute how long it will take to double. And you don't just have to use annual interest rates. For example, let's say the stock market went up 3% one day. That's not going to consistently happen over a long period. But if it happened to go up 3% every day, well, 72 divided by 3 equals 24. Since our unit is day in this example, the stock market would double in value after 24 straight trading days of 3% growth. That would be pretty wild. But what if you don't know the interest rate? Well, it's a math equation at the end of the day. So you just need to know how to reverse engineer it to get the variable you don't know. So 72 divided by I, or the interest rate, equals N, where N is the number of periods. The 72 is constant, but let's say we don't know the interest rate. Well, rearranging the formula gets me 72 divided by N equals I. So if I have the number of periods, I can then determine the interest rate needed. So let's say you just had a kid and you want to save for college. You have $10,000 you plan to invest so that when your kid graduates high school, you can help him or her pay for college. So if we take the rule of 72, we can say 72 divided by 18 years equals 4. So to double your money from $10,000 to $20,000, you would need to find an investment earning 4% per year for 18 years. $20,000 might not go far, so what if we wanted it to double twice? This would take our time period from 18 years to 9, so 72 divided by 9 equals 8, which means if you earn 8% interest per year, your $10,000 will double every 9 years. So after 9 years, it will be worth $20,000, and after another 9 years, it will double again to $40,000. Simple enough. How does this rule impact you? How does it offer any value? Well, it's a helpful and handy way to quickly figure out whether or not you should invest in something or take on a certain kind of debt, as well as to gauge how much better or worse one investment or debt is compared to another. It's easy to know that 4% interest on an investment is better than 3% interest, but how much better is it? Well, with 4% annual interest, your money will double every 18 years, while with 3%, it will take 24 years. So 1% difference doesn't seem like much on the surface, but if it's the difference in retiring 6 years sooner, probably makes a much bigger difference, right? Further, this shows how much power there is in getting started investing sooner. As I mentioned in my index card rules to investing episode, the key is starting early and staying long. You don't have to be rich to get started investing, whether you have $5 or $500,000. Just start today. The stock market has consistently returned an average of between 7 and 10% per year, so with returns like that, your money will double every 7.2 to 10.3 years. So if you make an $1,000 investment today, it'll be worth $2,000 within 10 years, then $4,000 within 20 years, then $8,000 within 30 years, and $16,000 after 30 to 40 years. And that's just for a single contribution. If you consistently invest even $100 a month in the market and earn 8% per year on it, after 10 years, you would have contributed $12,000, but it would be worth over $18,000. And then if you let it sit and never invest another dollar again, it'll increase in value to $36,000 in 9 more years, then $72,000 in another 9 years, and $144,000 after 9 more years. So after 37 years, your $12,000 in investments would be worth over $144,000. 37 years is less than most people spend working, so imagine the impact your money could have if you started investing today, even with something as small as $100 a month. Over time, you'll hopefully earn more and be able to put away more. In all reality, you shouldn't stop investing after 10 years. So if you remain consistent with $100 a month for 40 years, your $48,000 invested would turn into about $350,000, or over $300,000 in additional income for you. Alternatively, if you left your money in a savings account, it would take more than your lifetime to double. The average interest rate on savings accounts in America is 0.06% APY according to the FDIC. 72 divided by 0.06 equals 1,200 years to double with an average savings account. It is important to have money in savings for short-term expenses and for 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund, don't get me wrong. But don't leave all of your money in a savings account, as it will do practically nothing for you. And even high-yield savings accounts, while better, still only earn around 1 to 2% interest, meaning best case scenario, your money will double in 36 years. So the rule of 72 is an easy way for you to quickly do math in your head without needing Excel or a financial calculator to see the impact of different interest rates or time periods. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Financial Freedom Show with Chase Lawson. Hopefully you found this to be interesting and educational. Use it as a cool party trick to impress your friends. The rule of 72 is a simple way to determine whether or not to take on an investment or debt. Please let me know if you have any further questions on this topic, as well as leave a comment with any thoughts or feedback you have, or if there's any other financial topics I can cover for you. And as always, please be sure to like or leave a review if you got value out of it, and make sure you subscribe and share with others so that you and your loved ones all stay up to date with the latest content. Your feedback means the world, so thank you for all your help and support. Thanks so much, everyone. Until next time, stay safe and go get them.